Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
All right.
Today we're going to be tackling the legacy of Tiger Mask,
Oh, yeah.
specifically the fourth generation wrestler
Okay.
to take on that name. And we've
Yeah.
got articles, we've got historical data,
hmm
all sorts of things to dig into. And honestly,
Yeah.
the more I was looking into this, the less
Really.
straightforward it seemed.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking about a wrestler who had to not only live up to this name
Right.
that's practically synonymous with high-flying,
Oh, yeah.
innovative wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
but also had to deal with the fact that the original Tiger Mask
Oh, gosh.
was actually returning to the ring
Oh, wow.
while he was active.
See, that's what got me.
Yeah.
That's what immediately hooked me in.
Right.
Was that he steps into these
Huge shoes.
huge shoes, wants to make the name his own,
Yeah.
and then bam, his predecessor's back.
Yeah, what were they thinking over at Michinoku Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, like what was the plan there?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Oh.
Unlike the previous wrestlers
Mhm.
who wore the tiger mask,
Okay.
this fourth generation wasn't
Okay.
already an established wrestler
Oh, wow.
before taking on the mantle.
Okay.
He was a complete novice.
Wow.
Yeah, articles mention him training
Right.
at the
Okay.
Super Tiger Gym,
Hmm?
but basically he went from raw rookie
Really?
to carrying the weight of that legacy
Gosh.
practically overnight.
A complete novice.
Yeah,
That's unheard of.
I know. It's, I mean,
Most wrestlers spend years honing their craft
yeah,
before even thinking about a
absolutely.
gimmick as iconic as Tiger Mask.
Right,
So this wasn't just handing him a mask. This
Yeah.
was throwing him into the deep end
right.
with a spotlight.
Totally. Yeah.
So how did fans react?
Yeah,
Were they expecting?
Yeah, were they expecting this rookie
Yeah.
to suddenly pull off the same legendary moves
Right?
as the original?
Yeah.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
All the articles point to this incredible shift
Okay.
in the fan base around that time.
Interesting.
Instead of demanding perfection from day one,
Right.
they embraced his growth. They literally watched him evolve
That's so cool.
as a wrestler right in front of them.
It's almost like they were invested
Yeah,
in his journey, not just his wins.
I think so.
The articles mentioned this possibly being
Yeah.
influenced by the Heisey eras,
Mm-hmm.
generally more supportive audience,
Right.
less demanding, more about watching someone develop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It created this unique dynamic
Okay.
where the fourth generation could actually forge a distinct path,
Interesting.
growing alongside his fan base.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wasn't trying to be a carbon copy of the original.
Right.
He was allowed to be something new.
That novice start really is fascinating.
It is.
The articles mentioned some early championship wins,
Okay.
like the UWA World Middleweight Championship. Now, for someone so green,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Was this Michinoku Pro taking a calculated gamble, thinking this win would legitimize him quickly?
Right.
Or did they genuinely see some spark?
Yeah. Did they think this kid can do it?
Yeah.
It's hard to say for sure,
Okay.
but the fact that they put the mask on him
Right.
in the first place suggests they saw something special. And
Yeah.
that early win definitely gave him a boost.
Okay.
But remember, we're talking about a time
Yeah.
when the original Tiger Mask himself
That's right.
was still active.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
That huge wrench thrown into the works.
Yeah.
Imagine you're finally starting to find
Right.
your footing,
Right.
establish your own version of the Tiger Mask,
Yeah.
and suddenly the guy you're modeled after,
Yeah.
the legend himself, is back in the ring.
Yeah.
That's got to mess with your head.
Absolutely.
Right.
The articles highlight this constant
Yeah.
media comparison, the forced use of fourth generation in his name.
Oh, really?
It's almost like they were reminding everyone,
Wow.
hey, he's not the original.
Ouch.
And there were even parallels drawn
Uh-huh.
to the third generation's struggles
Mhm.
to escape the first generation's shadow.
Interesting.
It's a recurring theme
Wow.
in the Tiger Mask lineage.
So how did he deal with that pressure?
Right.
I mean, knowing that every move you make
Yeah.
is being compared to the legend who
Yeah.
practically trained you.
Mm-hmm.
Did he crumble?
Yeah.
Did he just fade away,
Right.
unable to really step out of that massive shadow?
Yeah. Not at all. This is where his resilience really shines through.
Okay.
He could have easily gotten lost in the shuffle,
Right.
become just another footnote in Tiger Mask history.
Yeah.
But instead, he took all that pressure,
Mhm.
that constant comparison, and turned it into fuel.
The articles definitely paint a picture
Yeah.
of someone determined to carve out his own space.
Right.
But the original Tiger Mask's return, that's such a unique situation.
I know.
I'm curious, in your research,
Yeah.
did you come across any insights into how the fourth generation felt about it personally?
Right.
This was his mentor,
Yeah.
the guy who passed the torch.
Right.
Now they're competing in the same world.
There's not a ton of direct quotes from him
Okay.
in these specific articles, but you can get a sense of his mindset through his actions.
Right.
He didn't shy away from the challenge. Instead, he kept pushing, kept refining his style.
So he was really trying to make it his own.
He even started incorporating moves that differentiated him from the original, while still maintaining that classic Tiger Mask flair.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like he was saying, okay, you want to compare us.
Right.
I'll give you something to compare.
Exactly.
It's almost like healthy competition.
Yeah.
Pushing each other to be better.
Totally. And I think that's what resonated with the fans. They saw him rise to the occasion rather than crumble under the pressure.
Right.
It added this whole other layer to his story.
It's easy to get lost in the championships and the accolades. But what really strikes me is that fan culture aspect we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine being a young wrestler.
Yeah.
Taking on this massive legacy.
Right.
And having the fans not only understand your position, but actively support your individual journey.
I know.
That must have been incredible.
It's a testament to both the fourth generation's talent and the fans' willingness to embrace something new. They weren't just cheering for a winner. They were invested in his development as a wrestler.
Did the articles touch upon how the original Tiger Mask himself felt about this whole situation?
Yeah.
I mean, he essentially created the template, the blueprint for what Tiger Mask represents.
Right.
Was there any sense of him wanting to reclaim that space? Or was he genuinely supportive of the fourth generation finding his own way?
It's interesting. The articles do mention that the original Tiger Mask was actually involved.
Really?
In the fourth generation's training.
Wow.
So there was definitely a sense of mentorship there.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered, there wasn't any overt animosity or rivalry between them. In fact, they even teamed up on occasion.
Really? That's so cool.
I know.
It almost adds a layer of legitimacy to the fourth generation's claim to the Tiger Mask name.
Right.
It's like the original was giving his blessing.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, you're doing the name proud.
Exactly. And that's what separates this from a typical passing the torch scenario.
Right.
It wasn't just about handing over the mask. It was about sharing the legacy, allowing it to evolve. Okay,
so we've established that he had talent, resilience, and a supportive fan base.
Yes.
But let's dig into the actual wrestling a bit more. You mentioned earlier that the fourth generation started to incorporate his own moves. But he also had some significant championship wins.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the ultimate validation.
Absolutely.
For any wrestler.
For sure.
Especially one trying to make a legendary name his own.
Let's talk about those.
Absolutely. His championship record is actually quite impressive.
Okay.
We talked about that early UWA World Middleweight Championship win. But he didn't stop there.
Okay.
In Michinoku Pro.
Yeah.
He was part of the apex of Triangle.
Okay.
6-man tag team championship.
Wow.
With the great Sasuke.
Okay.
And Gran Hamada.
Hold on, Gran Hamada.
I know.
Now that's a name.
Big time.
For those who might not be as familiar.
Yeah.
This guy is a legend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Practically synonymous with Lucha Libre.
Absolutely.
And high-flying wrestling.
Yeah.
What a team that must have been.
It was a powerhouse trio for sure.
Yeah.
And for the fourth generation Tiger Mask to be included in that mix,
alongside such established names, it speaks volumes about the skills he was developing.
Wow. So this wasn't just about riding the coattails of the Tiger Mask name.
No.
He was proving himself.
He was proving himself.
Alongside some of the best in the business.
Alongside the best.
And then came his move to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right.
Now, for our listener, New Japan is arguably the biggest stage in Japanese wrestling.
It is.
Known for its incredibly high level of competition.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a place for the faint of heart.
No.
This was a huge step up for the fourth generation.
For sure.
I'm getting the sense that he wasn't afraid of a challenge.
Nope.
In fact, he seems to thrive on them.
He did.
So how did he fare?
Yeah, how did he
in this new, more demanding environment?
He exceeded expectations.
Okay.
He became a 5-time
wow.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
5 times.
5 times.
That's insane.
It is.
But here's the question that keeps coming back to me.
Yeah.
Did any of these wins, especially in New Japan, finally silence those critics?
Yeah. Did they finally shut them up?
Yeah, who saw him as just the 4th generation.
Right.
Did they solidify him as his own tiger mask?
Right.
Separate from the legacy, but worthy of the name?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll definitely explore further.
Okay.
But let's not forget.
Okay.
His achievements weren't limited to Japan.
Yeah, he took the tiger mask name global.
He did.
Right. The articles mentioned Mexico, the U.S., even the U.K.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
That's serious dedication.
It's like he was determined to prove that he wasn't just a Japanese phenomenon.
Yeah.
That the tiger mask spirit could resonate anywhere.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about replicating what the original tiger mask did.
Yeah.
He brought his own style, his own energy to these new audiences.
To a whole new set of fans.
Yeah. The articles even mentioned him participating in TNA.
Oh, right. TNA.
Which, for our listener, is total nonstop action wrestling.
Okay.
A pretty big deal in the U.S. scene back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about chasing titles. Yeah. It was about showcasing what the 4th generation tiger mask was all about.
And then there's that Sasuke thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I know we're talking wrestling, but come on, Sasuke.
What?
That's like the ultimate test of athleticism and grit.
Yeah.
You've seen the clips, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those obstacles are insane.
Crazy.
The articles highlight this as proof that he wasn't just a wrestler.
Right.
He was an athlete, plain and simple.
An athlete, for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely broadened his appeal.
Yeah.
Reaching an audience beyond hardcore wrestling fans.
Right, bringing in some new people.
Yeah, it showed this incredible dedication to physical excellence, which I think ties back to the whole tiger mask ethos.
Right.
Remember the original tiger mask?
Yeah.
Was known for his innovative, high-flying style, pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, pushing the limits.
Of what was possible in the ring.
So in a way, the 4th generation was carrying on that tradition.
Yeah.
But in his own way.
In his own way.
Right, not just with wrestling moves, but with this almost superhuman athleticism.
Totally. It's like he was saying, here's what a modern tiger mask can do.
Right.
I'm not bound by the ring.
Exactly.
And that's what makes his story so compelling.
Yeah.
He took a name steeped in tradition, a style practically set in stone, and found a way to make it his own.
He really did.
He didn't reject the past.
Yeah.
He built upon it.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
The novice start, the pressure of living up to the original, the supportive fan culture, the championships, the global reach, even Sasuke. It's almost overwhelming.
It is.
But in the best way possible.
In the best way.
It really speaks to the depth of his journey, doesn't it?
It does.
He wasn't just going through the motions, collecting accolades.
No.
Every step, every challenge, every victory.
Yeah.
It all contributed to shaping his unique identity.
Right.
As Tiger Mask.
As Tiger Mask.
So after all this,
yeah,
after diving deep into the articles, the history, the whole shebang,
the whole thing,
how do we sum up the legacy?
Right, how do we sum it all up?
Of the 4th generation Tiger Mask.
Yeah. Did he simply inherit a legend?
Right.
Or did he redefine it entirely?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
He started as a novice.
Yeah.
Burdened with a name that carried immense expectations.
There's huge expectations.
He could have crumbled under the pressure.
Right.
Faded into obscurity.
He could have just disappeared.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
He embraced the challenge.
He did.
Learned from the original.
Yeah.
And ultimately forged his own path.
He forged his own path.
He won championships, yes. Yeah. He wrestled all over the world, sure.
Yeah.
But beyond that, he captured the spirit of what Tiger Mask represents. Innovation, athleticism, pushing boundaries.
Pushing the limits.
And he did it in a way that felt both familiar and completely new.
Yeah, he didn't just wear the mask.
Right.
He embodied it.
Yeah.
He took the core values of what Tiger Mask stands for and translated them for a new generation.
Yeah.
A new audience.
For a whole new group of people.
He proved that a legacy doesn't have to be static.
That's a good point.
That it can evolve, grow, and still retain its essence.
This has been one heck of a deep dive.
It has.
We started with a seemingly simple question.
Yeah.
how does someone live up to a legend?
Right.
And what we discovered
what did we find?
is that sometimes it's not about living up to it, but living into it.
Interesting.
Finding your own space within that legacy.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fourth generation Tiger Mask's story shows us that legacy isn't about imitation.
Right.
It's about evolution.
Yeah,
it's about taking what came before and using it as a foundation to build something new, something unique, something undeniably your own.
So for our listener, here's a final thought to wrestle with.
Okay.
Did the fourth generation ultimately surpass the original Tiger Mask? Or did he redefine what it meant to wear that mask entirely?
Good question.
That's for you to decide.
You decide.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the world of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
There are countless stories waiting to be uncovered.
So many stories.